Alright, God, I'm not sure where to start. Doesn't matter. It does not matter where I start. There's always a chance that I will find something that I missed the first time or second time or third time. Every tide changes the beach in one way or another. That's a piece of kimberlite. No. That's a piece of shale. I think it was probably used as a scraper. It's discoidal. It has edges on all sides. And it has a little bit of workings here. Yeah, I'll call that. It was probably used in the kitchen, in the Paleo-Indian kitchen. I'm not sure what to make of that. Perhaps it was a tool, I don't know. Perhaps they did use it for some reason. It's certainly not Micmac. It's not Passamaquoddy or Micmac. It's not within the last 1,000 years. They were very articulate about their hunting tools and their daily life tools. I don't know. No, I don't think that's a point. I think that's just a fragment or something that broke off. Well, no fossil. Well, that is a point. That was no accident. This was 4-net lateral head. Yeah, that lateral head. I'm sure it would have worked well. That's probably a nothing. This, on the other hand, looks like it was used for something. I'm not sure. This could have been used. Maybe they napped. Well, I'll have to set it down so I can, like right along here, there was a point was napped off it. It was percussion knapped. It was like bang. And they had themselves what looks like an atlatl point. They probably used it as a tool to sharpen their other points on too. Oh, let's see. So we're working with the upper Neolithic period, which is 35,000 to 10,000 BP. That's the tools I'm looking for, but I am sure I will find Paleo-Indian tools that range from 10,000 BC to the present. Yeah. This is more modern. This is Paleo-Indian. It's 5,000 years old or younger. Well, I can only guess at it. You can Google the tools for Paleo-Indians and for upper Neolithic period, and you'll see the difference in the atlatl heads and arrowheads and spear points and cup stones, etc. Their art changed as well. Well, I don't think it's anything special. Well, this could have been used as a fat stone, but I don't see any burn marks. There's usually a well-used fat stone will have that burnt look, a blackish look. This looks like it was used as a cutting tool during Paleo-Indian time or Neolithic period. Probably had an edge then, but that would be used for scraping. It's a little handheld scraper. Processing food. Oh ho 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 ho. It's a very heavy paleo pickaxe. That's what that would be. If you wanted to smash something, crush something, or mash it all up, if you wanted to break soils up or break large bones, this is what you would use. This weighs, I'm guessing, around 10 pounds. Yep. They would have used that for some heavy chores of some kind. That there is just some chert. I think that's the third, that makes number 4 of that kind that I found. Yeah, it's the 4th one of those that I found. It's just like a cleaver, except it's not a cleaver. It is, I'll call it a pick. It's like a handheld pick. Yep. That's what that is. That's extremely heavy, but the Neolithic people were had to be robust to survive. This is a paleo point for sure. It would have been used as a cutting tool or a paleo point. It was well worked. I gotta wash it off. Have to wash it off. Well, there. Now I can better chance to see it. Yeah, I think this was. It was a tool used in food processing. Okay, well now that I'm right here, I have to work my way back to where I was. Now they had, I'll keep my eye out for, especially for Folsom tools, but I'm probably going to find stuff from other periods. Like this is Paleo-Indian. An archaic point. That was much later than the Folsom stuff. And judging from the number of axes that I found, the number of tools, that at any one given time there was not a lot of people living here. 10,500 years ago there might have been, between Nova Scotia and here, there might have been less than 100, quite easily less than 100 people. But I think 2,000 years ago, there was probably less than 500 people living in this specific area. In this specific area, there was probably 300 people or less. Now, I think I'm trying to remember. Okay, there is right in front of me, there's is that the turkey vulture? Yes, it is. It's coming right at us. No, it isn't. That's a crow, a raven. That is a raven. Well, he's a pretty large size raven too. Now, what's special about ravens? Ravens have always been here. And I know in the north, when you were following caribou herds, that when the hunters followed caribou herds to set up their hunting, they would find flocks of ravens. The raven flocks would, when the caribou had their young, the ravens would help clean up the afterbirth, and they would help clean up leftovers from any kills made by bears or wolves. Yeah, bears, wolves, or man. The ravens would help clean up any stuff left over. Now, when I see a raven here today, there was a time, I'm reminded of a time back in history when caribou herds did roam a tundra-like landscape. Ravens were one of the principal birds. So were eagles and hawks and owls. Piece of kimberlite. Well, that's a definite piece of kimberlite there. So much iron content in it, it will break a modern steel tool. Oh, sorry, crab. What's this? That is another nice point. This is a Paleo-Indian, meaning it's I don't know, 6,000 years old, 5,000 years old, 2,000 years old. It's a piece of history. Just resting here. On a stone like that, they would have used it as a whetstone. Well, the tide's coming in, so I want to be careful of where I go. I don't want to go way out there and then have the water circle in behind me. Well, that's just a funny shaped stone. I don't think it's anything important. That's another paleo point. I don't know. No, I was thinking this might have been just a break off, an accidental break off that nature itself did. But I'm going to say it isn't. At one point they were going to use this for they were going to turn it into something, an axe or a pick. Yeah, the Paleo-Indians were going to turn that into some kind of an axe, I think. But they didn't get to that point. Here is, this was Paleo-Indian. The edges of this stone, I guess I should wash it off. Every edge on this stone was worked. It could have been used as a, if it was used as a grinding stone, it would have grooves, deep grooves in it. So this could have been used as a fat lamp, but it doesn't have this. It doesn't have the black smudgy edges. It doesn't have the black edges around it. I think this was used as a cutting tool for processing fish and meat. But they would have a much sharper edge on it. Time has kind of dulled down this edge, but this here is a handheld for dressing game down, or food processor tool. That was this was a paleo point. I looked at this the other day. Yes, I remember this point. Like I said, I would have napped this part off, and but apparently they weren't fussy. They just wanted a working point, and they achieved it. It's hard to say. What's this? Well, I think this was probably it might have been an unfinished point. I think it was something that was being worked on. And they did not finish it. Okay. Oh, there's one of the boats coming in. Yes, yes. Well, that's not an accident. This was a tool. What the? This was Paleo Indian rock art. Some kind of feathers on the crown of the head, but there's the face. I'll put it back to rest in the tidal pool. But that's interesting. There's the neck. Yep. Yeah, this was purpose. It was purposeful. This was going to be turned into, it was a kind of an adze. Yes, it was used for working on wood. Well, no fossils. Yeah. Yeah. Coming in at low tide, that boat captain will take his time because he only has a really narrow channel. Yeah, so that the channel in and out is so narrow. There is no room for two boats of that size to leave and enter at the same time. I hope those visitors enjoy their time here. Now let's see, what's trapped in here? Had to look for what's accident. I'm looking for what is an accident and what isn't an accident. And I'm hoping to find tools that effectively fit into the Paleo-Indian period, the Falsum period, or those that belong to the order of Micmac tools, Maliseet tools, Passamaquoddy tools. The Indian tribes often had their own traits put into their tools, into the characteristics of their tools. An axe will look like an axe, but some knives had a regional variation. There was always something a little different, even about their hairstyle, their pipes, their pottery. Speaking of pottery, I haven't found any. Oh, I doubt the pottery would survive out here unless it was trapped in by